serving Most High's King. I got that like a long time ago. And I'm just now growing into it. So, let me see. What's kind of cool icebreaker for you guys ready? Alright. I want to, for a minute, to a minute and a half to 2 minutes, I want you guys all to play an imaginary game with me. You guys ready? Alright. I want you to pretend that you have mental illness and it's the heat of the moment and it's crisis and you got 10 seconds to think about one thing you could do that can help bring you into a state of calm. And then I'm going to start asking questions. I'm just going to ask each one of you what your one thing is. So I'll give you 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, you thought about it? Starting from the back, what's your one thing that you would do to help try to bring you back to center?
I put my intention into like one part of my body.
I had some treats. Pay attention. Somebody who answers this right gets extra credit. All right. And how do you say your name? Where was it?
Vera. Yeah,
Vera.
just pretend it's with a V.
Hi, Vera, and your name was?
Om Street.
Elm Street. Beautiful names. Okay, so because we got to 7:30, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take all that. So what's your one?
Feeling my feet being really heavy, feeling grounded.
All right, good, good. That's my answer. I was waiting for someone to say that. Okay. And focus on one part of my body so that I can come back to it. This is what I look every day. How do you say your name?
Azra.
Azra. Can you tell me your one thing?
I would count.
Count. Count to
Count to 10.
10. Okay.
Pretty solid.
9, 8, and honor. What's your thing?
I call my best friend.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Lifeline. Or I just don't happen to have my phone. So I won't call on my other friend. Jesus. I'm gonna use my iPhone. Jesus. One leg right here. Okay. And Helen.
Take a deep breath, and if there's a snack, eat it.
All right. I'm gonna chew my lips. And Nina.
Think about people I love.
Think about people I love. All right. Tupac. All right. Okay. Let's see. Nola.
I would also take a deep breath in.
All right. Another deep breath. That's good. That's good. Because
Take 3 deep breaths.
3 deep breaths. Lisa, I like the word breath. I'm hearing breath a lot.
Maybe hug someone or touch someone I care about.
That is awesome. Let's pretend this is a tree. Sometimes there's not a person around, but this is I'll be there for a minute. That's me though. And it's again.
To crisis, I pray to God.
Good spiritual person, Victoria.
I said, I'd submerge my head in ice water.
Ice water. That is dope question. I haven't asked. Don't get jealous. I didn't ask you guys why you had that question. Why is that? Why would you do
That's a good question. I just have experience working with adolescents, so when they're in crisis, that's what I do with them to help kind of shock their parasympathetic nervous system.
That's the correct answer. It gets rid of the swelling in the cerebral cortex because that swells up with heat and inflammation when they're trauma. And ice water brings it back down. Ice, but I'll do that. River. Oh, that name is so dope. Wow.
Yeah. I take a deep breath and focus on this moment right now.
The one, we can focus on one body part. Okay. And Julie?
I would imagine my kids and like just picture them happy and playing.
Oh, that's so nice. Yeah, you're a mom. A mom gets through crisis. Okay. And
I was like, she just got me. Like, listening to all these and
Awesome.
yeah, my
Okay.
goodness.
And Lisa?
It's a slogan, like let go and let God, or how important is it?
I like that one. You know, my thing is, I always ask myself, halt. Am I hungry, angry, lonely, tired? If I'm 3 out of those, I have to go home. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. I'm on one foot. No, okay, that's just, Jason.
Exercise or listening to music.
For sure. Nice. I like that. Exercise on. Yeah. Sometimes though, I think I've actually intensified my trauma by exercising. It took me into a fight or flight. It took me to a hospital. So I gotta know what's kind of triggering me maybe before I get into exercise. If it's not anger caused, then I think that's cool. If it's anger, like, then it makes me more angry. But sometimes maybe not. Yes. Yeah.
I believe someone already said this, but trying to find someone to talk to, just my thoughts on it.
Yes, yes. And I can't see you.
Oh, never.
Never.
Well, I'm a mother, so I also would think about my children.
All right, I got to half of the room. I'm gonna save this half for another question. Okay, all right. So, those are all really, really good questions about what to do in a crisis. So I was kind of like, I'm a 1980s baby. I'm from San Diego. I was born in the 60s. For real, I used to do all that stuff every day, just out of being nervous. I had a nervous disorder, and I still kind of have it. So I'm like 6.5 years in recovery, no alcohol, right? But cool, that's so cool, right? The weird thing is though, without the alcohol, all the nervous stuff is back. So my childhood nervous, I used to have a nervous tick, where I would walk around and be like, okay. That's actually turned into pain inside, internal pain. So I learned how to heal it through different modalities in healing. Peers is one of the, it's like, I say peers is like a modality? Or lift every voice and speak. Well, we go to these meetings. I go like once every 2 weeks, monthly, online. We used to do it in person. And I found out something real cool about that. And this is a quote from my dad. He's like, Anthony Brown Sr. He's got like 34 years in recovery. He called me and he goes, I just want you to know, a problem shared is a problem cut in half. I was like, yeah, man, that's cool. He's so wise. He's like, all right. And then he goes, oh, so I'm not done. I was like, okay, what was that? He goes, a joy shared is a joy double. That's what we do, lift every voice and speak. Plus, we learned how to come do this. And I used to be in a group called Black Men Speak. He rests in peace. His name is Joe Anderson. He's the one who got me involved with mental health, behavioral health, emotional health, in the county of Alameda. And he told me that the more we speak, the more we get to hear our truth. And somebody said earlier, wise sage named Jesus once said, the truth will set you free. He also told me the more you speak, the more you pour your poison out. He told me about trauma. He said trauma, it's like this glass. And your trauma, when it's at its full peak, is this glass full. And he said, what we do with Black Men Speaks, lift every voice and speak with peers, when we tell our story, we're pouring the trauma out. And you get to the bottom of the cup, you can never pour that last drop. You can try it just swirls and swirls and swirls. And if you are not careful, it'll fizzle and then you fill back up. But the thing about being connected, something like Mother Harry said, is it helps you to be able to share with somebody else so that they too can pour their cup. And then together, hopefully, you become even filled. I wrote some stuff on the board because this is some of the stuff I learned from here, and I don't talk about some stuff I learned just being me growing up. So, lift every voice and speak helped me to deal with the #1 problem of trauma. My #1 problem has always been stigma. stigma. What is the stigma to you guys? Like, oh, perfect, I got this side of the room, right? Ooh, Tori, how are you?
Good, how are you?
What is stigma to you? Can you define stigma?
I am reading your answer and I can't think of a better one, so it's distracting, but, I think stigma is, a stereotype or an incorrect belief firmly held.
That's kind of like, a word. So, to me also it's a story being told to you by yourself that's not true. And it can come from a lot of factors. You guys know about the 8 components of wellness? Have you guys already studied that? No?
That's on me.
That's not something they learn?
That's my bar.
It's important, maybe just find this out, you know. So we got social, environmental, physical, emotional, spiritual, occupational, intellectual, and finance. Those are like the 8 invisible cords that keep me afloat. Imagine like I'm on a cross. I can walk the water. No. But so that being said, I learned more about that in peer support. And it helped me to understand that I had a social discomfort because of how I grew up environment. I'm also by trade a 5-element theory, 12 meridian practitioner, structural alignment integration specialist, shaman minister, and I work with nature. One thing that they taught me in school was a lot of illness comes by the way of what's called environmental factors or environmental pollution. So for me, I grew up with like what's called like a rock bottom. That's alcoholism, some of the stuff Harry mentioned, being a survivor. There was drugs around. There was lots of people medicating. And then when I went outside, it was a really violent place to live in. I was affected by that differently than most people. Later, it became a diagnosis. That diagnosis, they called schizoaffective. Anybody know what schizoaffective is? Anybody from this side of the room? What's schizoaffective?
Combination of the disorder and schizophrenia.
Ding, 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 ding. That's awesome. That's exactly what they told me. They tried to say I was bipolar and I had a mix of this and a mix of that. But what I really found out was I had been baptized a long time ago when something happened that woke up the extra sense within me and my spiritual body, my spiritual. And that helped me to become extra empathic, extra emotional, extra compassionate. I had the ability to do things that they said I had mental illness for. I was like hearing and seeing things that I guess other people can't see as a child. And then as I got older, a lot of those things never changed. It changed from talking to like ghosts and spirits and seeing shadows and things pop in and out of people and watching people's auras change colors before and after they're getting ready to fight, make love, or dance or show some type of compassion. I could see different things around people like orbs or their bodies would light up. And that's, I guess, when I'm in tune. But the thing is, I grew up in a really bad environmental kind of place and space. So out of tune, that's like being able to connect to everybody's depression that's going on around me, able to tap into people's emotional decompositions. I can feel the neighbor next door being raped, waking up in the middle of my sleep, having nightmares as if it's happening to me. That was pretty much an everyday thing as a child. And not to mention there was harm also in my life. So I was blessed and kind of lucky because I grew up a little bit on my own. Fast forward, I joined the tribal allegiance through breakdancing and having fun. to be ostracized by the police and treated like I was in a gang that I became what I was treated like. That being said, they were strict. We had a homework policy. You had to have your homework done before you could study. In my neighborhood, I don't know which are, but I'm from San Diego. We do things different. There's a military base out there. A lot of us had military parents. We were very militant. To go home from where I lived, you took a chance. If you were walking not with people within your skin color group and maybe the same color, you risked a chance of a drive-by shooting. From my neighborhood, I probably lost every friend I had to prison, except for like 6 of us. The 6 of us are still not in prison. So we had like 6 out of like maybe 200 some people, but I mean that's pretty good. You know, it's like a numbers game. Fast forwarding, I've been in and out of institutions. The whole time I was going to school, I was trying to better myself. I ended up on my own at the age 14 and a half. I put myself through school, high school and college, and as well I went to the military. All right, 5 minutes left. Good. So the military really prepared me for discipline, and after I got done running alcoholism, I thought about my kids and how I missed them, and I wanted to make things better. I had a cable job, it wasn't too cool. I hurt my feet running too much. I used to run when it got cold. I was on the East Coast. I loved to run, but what got me was the breaking down of my feet. Plantar fasciitis set in. I ended up in a lot of pain. I needed to change careers. The community that I was in, I was life coaching teenagers, and some of the parents came together. They saved some money. They wanted to open an office. They wanted to get me my own personal job, working with kids and their parents. I was working with the children of crimes of passion, stab wounds, being shot, stuff like that. I had a passion for it. Doing it strictly for free. And I told them I couldn't do it, said I had to come back here, fix my life, said I've been on the run, running away from my life. I came here, went to school, did what I had to do. In school, they have a creed, if you're a healer to thyself, be true. I went through school, I started therapy, and it was probably the worst and best thing I ever did. It opened up all the facets to all the trauma, everything I put behind. I became a new man. I was in society, I was a pillar of my community. I finally was someone smart, getting A's, I'm going somewhere, I have a vision for a great job. And through the Medi-Cal system, they told me I couldn't see my therapist anymore after 6 months. I went into a panic. It was my first, excuse me if I cry. It was my first time ever being touched in a positive way by people, and getting compliments while being at Pacific College of Oriental Medicine. I went to a university for healing. It was my first time ever getting hugs, a massage, acupuncture, so everything and anything that was hidden and tucked away deep inside woke up. And I woke up sick one day, a lot of pain, and I'm a veteran. I went to the VA, they gave me a bunch of medicine, and I got more sick because they kept switching me doctors, and they kept switching me therapists. And then that led to homelessness, and I ended up getting plasma to get my way through school. I finally graduated after switching through a variation of schools, because during the whole time, I also had to fight the state of California, being on probation for something I did like 20 years ago almost. They keep grudges, okay? But it was good for me. The judge let me off probation like almost 3 years early. Said I did an outstanding job, I got an award, it was real cool. That led me to wanting to open up a business, and then something happened with my son. I came out here to be a father, and then I met my son. And then I found out I wasn't the father I needed to be for him, but I ended up learning how to become a father for me. I met more damage within inside myself. I got worked through the massage business, and I worked until I broke. And once I broke, I became emotionally disconnected, and I started mental health. Through mental health and peers and different things, I was able to go back through my own teachings, reteach myself inner child work, inner trauma healing, connected with the 12 steps of recovery, that anonymous stuff, and it was pretty cool. I've then been able to take the stuff I learned from mental health and bring it together with holistic health, and I'm able to be an influence to people in my community as a peer, as a scientist, as a citizen. You know? And the things I suffered from, they bring other people liberation. I've got a really cool healing rate. I got my own store, that I run on the weekends, and I've got to work with a lot of youth in this community. The relationship with me and my son is still broken, but the funny thing is, I accidentally had a youth program that was started by the police of Oakland when they tried to arrest a kid in front of me that they put in my custody, whose parents didn't put in my custody because they were so mad, and his crew became my crew. And then I came to find out that those were my son's peers from school. So things come back around full circle, and I'm still working on fatherhood, working on healing myself. I'm about to start therapy again, and go in and uncover some more stuff. So the darkness doesn't stop. What I learned from darkness is it's the place where light began. That's my story. In life, it's important to know that at all times, you are your higher self. We are in a place that's programmed to transition to only give us insight to our lower self. Through our 5 senses, we are capable of being higher in every sense of the way. But what mental health and mental illness is also the body and the mind and the psychic and the emotions' inability to disconnect from distractions. And when over-distracted, we can unwind and lose our mind. But with self-discipline and meditation, like I practice Kriya Yoga, that's the science of breath. It teaches you how to heal yourself from the inside out. And that helps balance you, which is called yin and yang. And in meditation, you can connect to yourself of yesterday, and you can heal that person. So I go back in the past, and I talk to little Tony, and I watch him as he gets victimized by the people in his past, and I talk him through it. And I bring them back to today. That's the present. And by doing the meditations, the qigong, the yoga, and taking time to come and see people like you, I'm working on the future Tony. There's an inner me, and anything that I learned in mirror is visualization or mirror visualization. We're all spirits having a human experience, and this is me sharing my spiritual reality. So thank you for letting me talk to you.